I've got bruised souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Count my wounds as in desert crumbs flow. I'm gonna turn all of my stones.
Rock bottom make a man and some pressure make a gemstone. Trying to put $1 to my name like Creflo. Elijah boy, late to the game, it's in the blood flow. But I'm from the south, it's thick skin and tough bone. Big attitude through big lips with gusto. Trust no kings, that's why they tried to crush souls. But it's IGBO, when the dust blow, this old head be standing there. No silver, just gold. Crack no books on the hustle, I was born to grind. Yo, scared of your potential, I'm adorned with mine. 30 times around the sun, man, of course I shine. My legacy will not dwarf with time. And in my daughter's eyes, it's basic, I must not say quit. Every day sees a present like a Rob St. Nick. Walk a fine line between tenacious and patient. I can't slip, I'm fighting clocks and they can't win.
I've got bruised souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Count my wounds as in desert crumbs flow. I'm gonna turn all of my stones. I've got bruised souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Who that soldier in the mirror? Oh, oh. I'm gonna turn all of my stones.
Impeccably I flow, hardest raps you know, breaking status quo, reaping what I sow, artistry like Van Gogh. Get it from my mama, hip so thick that I need tempo. Personality, spicy body banging like a bongo. Cause black women been it since Timbuktu, since Pharaoh. Sponge rollers and hot combs, lips, cheeks and brow bones. If you ain't for the culture, then please stay out of my zone. These little dummy rappers could never grace my headphones. See, I'm from a place in space where ain't no storytelling, you just had to have been there. If you want the battle, ain't no problem, say where. I got so much experience, I can't even play fair. But I'ma keep evolving and growing and hurting feelings and showing. You need endurance to go in, I got mileage on this pen. I've been busy cause I've been out here schooling all these kids. Took 3 decades to have this glow up that I did.
I've got bruised souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Count my wounds as in desert crumbs flow. I'm gonna turn all of my stones. I've got bruised souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Who that soldier in the mirror? Oh, oh. I'm gonna turn all of my stones.
know you guys were checking shoes last night to see if he was barefoot. Is that still the case? Is he barefoot? Because I know on Facebook somebody posted a picture of these could be his shoes, or is that so he is presumed to be barefoot at this point?
What I can say is that his mom says all of his shoes are accounted for at the house. I'm not going to say that he's barefoot.
All right.
Allegedly!
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here coming at you with another raw narrative. Here's a brief disclaimer for tonight's show. Let's watch.
That's ignorant! Allegedly, that's ignorant! Ignorant.
Judgment, Alfred.
Chloe, you read my thoughts. You've got the shinning.
You mean shining?
Shh! You wanna get sued?
Judgment, Alfred.
You just use that shin of yours to call me and I'll come a running. But don't be reading my mind between 4 and 5. That's Willie's time.
Hey, yo, boss. I love it when he does that.
Let's watch.
Don't get me back to good bullshit.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here coming at you with another raw narrative. And it's so good to see you guys tonight. Thank you all so much for being here and joining me for a live. I wanted to get a video up in between, but I ran out of storage. Like my phone was like, no more, it's overloaded. And so I keep deleting stuff and then saving it as I go. And that's the worst thing I can do. So I have to just go through and get rid of some bigger files, because a lot of people will send me files and, you know, I just have to save them someplace else and get them off my phone in order for me to do the video. So, but I have a good video coming up for you guys. I just want to make sure it was going to be good too. So, I mean, I could have omitted some of what I was trying to do, but I wanted to kind of paint a picture for you guys on top of an interview um, that was very close to when Sebastian went missing, within, the first 11 days or so. Well, more like maybe 14. Either way, I will have that out for you guys after this live tonight. But I figured we can revisit some things because, look, Chris and Katie have changed their story so many times. Seth has not. So when I'm going back and I'm watching all of these really old interviews with Seth, right? So I'm putting Seth on the hot seat again. People take that the wrong way and they'll like leave me mean comments. They'll be like, "Don't put Seth on the hot seat." No, I'm teasing him when I say that, but I really am putting him on the hot seat when I'm watching his interviews and trying to analyze them, right? That's pretty much what it is for anybody that I'm looking at their interviews because I'm looking for inconsistencies, right? So already I'm going in there with some suspicion. It doesn't matter who it is, right? If I'm giving you guys a good analysis. And so especially when it comes to Chris and Katie because they haven't been truthful. So we're always listening for what they're saying and we're looking for things that are inconsistent. And again, that's just because they've been inconsistent. So, I have an old video. It's kind of a throwback one that I was going to show tonight. And it was right around, I'm just checking the date really quick. Okay, so December 7th. Yeah, so this is when the footage came out for the Texas Roadhouse. I had to just think back. Sorry, my brain's a little mushy. It's been quite the last couple of days. So, um, bear with me on that. But either way, I wanted to show you guys this because I think it's interesting that we didn't know some things, and we were talking about that earlier, like when it comes to what Sebastian was wearing that night. We were all under the impression, even though Katie was truthful about what he was wearing that night, right? She told Smiley when Smiley asked her what was he wearing, and she said a black Grogu t-shirt and some jeans, right? And so she wasn't lying. But again, he's wearing a black t-shirt with a graphic on it. In this one. There you go. Now you can see it more. I'm just covering up Katie's hair. That's all I'm, covering up. Oh, and the TBI logo, because that's who put this picture out originally. Now, this is the Texas Roadhouse, but it is not the time in question. The time in question is the other 5 pictures that are up here. Right? So the TBI's narrative is happy Sebastian, beautiful Barbie style haircut, Katie. Now I got to show you guys because I mean it's completely different. So there, can I move myself a little bit? But yeah, see how her hair is like flowing, looks great. She's over here in ninja gear, not all black. Because when I originally watched this video, I was like, oh hell, is she wearing all black? But no, she's wearing navy blue. It seems like her top underneath, I think, is like a more of a maybe like a purple, dark purple color. And then she of course has pants on. So the same kind of shoes that Sebastian had. I believe I mentioned that in this video. Because I put little shoe emojis on it. I'm guessing this is the one. If not, maybe I could look for it really quick. But then I also want to look over one that I did, and this is going to be 7 months ago, September 16th of 25. So we revisited this, this altercation that seems to have happened between Green Hoodie and Katie, right? Like everybody's nervous about the situation with Green Hoodie and Katie. Hey, Lover Girl, and welcome in, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry, I just kind of got right into it tonight, but thank you all for being here so much, and welcome in, everyone. But here's the thing. because I'm really focusing in, and again, I need to be sharing more ideas in the war room, but I'm also wanting to just go back and work on certain things in that time frame and see what you guys think about it. So I need to get some, different ideas out there. But I think that it's important to focus on that time frame. What was happening? Why? Right? What's going on with custody and Nina? It really sucks because JLR has some good input in videos when it pertains to Sebastian's case, and it's concerning. I wish that I would have reached out to Nina, but I just figured she gave us enough by giving her story the way that she told it. Seemed very genuine, but it also seemed like it was very difficult for her to tell it. And it is. It's difficult for me to listen to her story because it is a lot like what I went through. A lot of the same bullying and just nasty shit and court, back and forth in family court, that Nina dealt with, and it's very difficult. And narcissists love to take people to court. They love it. It's their heyday when they're in court. Prove me wrong because I lived it. And then I got divorced again in the Catholic Church. Twice I was divorced. I went through hell. Okay? So hearing her story is like hearing my own story. Hearing Chris Proudfoot's voice reminds me of what I used to have to deal with, right? But it's just that narcissistic rage. So you kind of chalk it up to that. Either way, we have these elements. We have them not wanting Sebastian to live at the house because they think that Sebastian shouldn't be around Faith or shouldn't be at the house, period, because they weren't telling Seth this, to the best of my knowledge. They were telling him more that he was having trouble at school and that he was having trouble at home, and they wanted to put him into Bledsoe Youth Academy. That's where it all started, right? That was their go-to, was a place that had just been in big trouble for housing teens and allowing for them and encouraging them to, get into fights with each other and jump each other. And, we did watch that video. And again, I think that was another video that they hit on me and there wasn't any people that wanted to, pay for advertising AdSense on those videos because there's CPS involvement, right? All of those things are very horrible to add to a situation like Sebastian Rogers, right? He's an autistic teen. His parents are divorced. Divorce is extremely difficult as it is, but then also you have all of these layers and elements. A narcissistic stepfather, abusive, a mother that allows for it and also participates in it. In my opinion, it seems like she is scolding Sebastian at the Texas Roadhouse. I don't remember who it was, but I know someone asked earlier, or maybe it was yesterday, and we were talking about it. Did anyone ever ask Katie what she was saying at the table to Sebastian? Like, what was their conversation? I would hope to the great Lord above that someone would have asked Katie that. I mean, I've never heard like any of the interview people ask her, but see, we didn't really realize or have questions about the Roadhouse specifically because we didn't know anything about it, right? We just see this picture of Katie and Sebastian, big smiles. They look really cute, sitting next to each other at the dinner table, best buds, chums, right? But then that's not how it really was. And who took the picture? Was it Katie that took a selfie? Was it Chris that took a picture? Was it the waitress? I don't know. But it's not like he was a little child in this. This was a recent picture to the of a trip to the Roadhouse or a visit. You know. Hey Detroit. Hey Witchy Mama. Good to see you, Miss Ann. And Chuchi. Hello, Chuchi and Bo. Good to see you guys. Welcome in. Hey Lori. So welcome in, guys. And so hey, little Miss Sharon. And Sandy is here. Hey, Brad. And Kylie's nail candy. Hey, guys. Sorry, I didn't do a whole rundown tonight, but it's so good to see you guys. Hey, my PTSD. Did you get into the war room today? Or because I sent what was it? It was probably like early this morning that I sent out the invite too. And if you guys are having trouble, if you upgraded your membership, if you're having trouble with that, just let me know and I'll send you a direct one. And I might have to redo the link, but I shouldn't have to do it this soon. It should automatically redo it. Hey, Cinderella and Lover Girl. But yeah, there's just a lot to unpack about all of this. And what we thought we knew in the beginning wasn't really even what we have come to know. And that comes with time. But in this case, it's just been so wacky. You have Chris and Katie lying their asses off, in my opinion. Every time I watch Seth, he's telling the truth because he's telling the same damn story. I mean, sometimes Seth will go off subject a little bit, but it's always pertaining to Sebastian. I mean, look, you have to understand people are going to have different personalities. The problem with Katie, though, like if I look at Seth and it's like what I see is what I get with Seth, right? But then if I look at Katie, I can't really describe her personality because it changes so frequently, as if she chameleons to other people, right? Matches their energy. She's even used that term, but it's more than that. It's more of a manipulation tactic, in my opinion. So it's very difficult to watch Katie in action and get a good read on her, other than she's being deceptive. In my opinion, she can be sneaky. She can also be very cruel and mean, in my opinion. And it's like a badge of honor for her, right? And we learned that from Nina's interview. We learned that from her interview, and when she said that Katie was FaceTiming and she was helping the family antagonize, Nina. I mean, if I was Nina, I wouldn't like her. I mean, I would be like, wow, that's where I'm sending my daughter. Because sometimes people that don't like you will take it out on your kids. So you just don't even know what you're dealing with there. It's very scary. Thank God the kids are in school, I guess, until the summer. But let me go ahead because I know some of this I put comments. Okay, I think this is one I was just reading through. Okay, yeah, it must be. So I'm gonna mute it. Give me just 1 second. All right, here's a better picture of Katie and Sebastian. This is one of the clearer videos that At Night put out, which I really like this video. I'm sure they did an AI. But we just see Sebastian. He's just eating his food, right? They're sitting at the table talking. And you can usually tell if the video has been sped up or slowed down based on the timestamp. This video is just focusing in on Sebastian, right? And of course, that's who I was mostly wanting to watch his mannerisms. Again, it appears he's wearing a New Balance shoes, right? And so this is where I'm tripping out, right? Again, this is a throwback, but I said, notice the difference in what he's eating, right? Because this looks like he's got some kind of like chicken tenders. I mean, I know it's like salmon. I don't know. It just looks weird on the plate. Either way, the bowl is different. The table is different. He's got um, just everything about this dinner is different. Maybe the knives are the same, right, to cut the steak with and that sort of thing. But there's more drinks on the table, even. Either way, we don't know what point of the night this was taken, but the food was a dead giveaway, in my opinion. So he's real focused on just eating his food at the time, right? And then Katie is snapping away photos, right? And she's just snapping away. You can also see her like scrolling through. And Sebastian has really great manners at the table, right? He's very, look at him smile at the waitress, right? She comes by and he smiles, right? Here's the rolls, and you could tell he was excited about the rolls too. I'd smile at someone giving me rolls, hell yeah, especially the Texas Roadhouse ones. They're so good. And she wouldn't let him have a roll. And that pisses me off more than anything. If anything pissed me off the most about that dinner. And that was a good catch by Justin. Yeah, I know. I think she knows something was coming. Well, and in the beginning too, Scranton, when I had just first seen the first couple videos they put out, I'm like, why isn't she eating very much? But then she does end up eating more as they were bringing out more videos. But I'm like, what's up with, her not eating or anything? Because I don't know, typically, especially because back then I thought they went bowling. So I figured, because they didn't mention eating lunch. So, by the time you get to dinner, yeah, you're probably hungry, so you're going to eat whatever roll or whatever. So I was just watching that too. I was watching to see, and Sebastian seemed like he was eating what I don't know what his absolute favorite thing to get there is. It seems like he got something different. I know that Chris Proudfoot told Elevated Goof that Sebastian was eating salad dressing on his salad and he never ate it like that before. And so Katie sent pictures to him. And then I also heard another rumor or story that it was because he wanted to make sure that Sebastian ate enough of his plate. So either way, I don't see why Mr. Chris has to micromanage every situation, or he just can't handle himself. He just can't take it. If he can't, fix everything and make sure everything's the way he needs it to be. Yeah, exactly, Lover Girl. So seeing this footage really makes her stories about his behavior hard to believe since he seems so sweet and well behaved. And, he also is, just very even keeled. He seems very mellow. It's not like seems hyper or anything like that. But it also doesn't seem like he's tired per se. I think maybe after he eats a little bit, but then they start having the conversation, and then you see him getting upset, and Katie looks like she's scolding him, so it does change a little bit. I don't know. I don't know how he felt about not being able to go bowling. That always makes me wonder too. And then where did they go if they didn't go bowling? You know? I mean, it's something that they have mulled over, and we've all known about it. We all knew the whole day, except for Katie made us think that they went bowling. And then after they made us think that they went bowling and everybody found out that they didn't go bowling, she said they played games, right? Cuz games. So, their stories keep changing all the time. So Katie's like checking the rolls. She's Inspector Gadget with the rolls. It looks like maybe Sebastian caught a chill there. Um, he might be cringing at Katie though. I don't know. So, thank you, Chuchi. Lady have he may have liked California better and didn't want to leave. That's a possibility, Brad. Kids get, especially, when they're on the spectrum, they like things to be the same. I will say that Sebastian has lived in a lot of different places. And so I don't know if he adapts well, or I mean, there may be places that he liked better than others. I mean, that goes for any of us. So that's interesting too, to think about, because yeah, I didn't ever think if he missed it there. I know he had a hard time there, but I think he had a hard time in a couple of different places. Problems typically follow you, unless you're just in a toxic situation and you can get out and get help and stuff. Um, Uh, yeah, I know, and that's the thing. Coffee, crime, and cat. So how would they justify sending him away? I mean, I just wonder if there's something where they found some sort of a program, for lack of a better way to say it, that they were able to swing it without anybody knowing, and pay for it somehow. I would imagine the authorities are watching them now. I mean, so if they do end up getting a large sum of money, I would imagine that would red flag someone, especially knowing the FBI has the $50,000 reward. Um, I would think they would want to get that um, off the that list, and put it towards another new person that they could help. I would hope, but then again, maybe they just put everybody up on that list. Here's my tinfoil hat moment for the night. Maybe they just put people on the list and say there's a $50,000 reward. I don't know. Hell, like, I mean, sometimes you wonder. Um, I do anyway. Brenda says, "Me, Chris, 3 hours away, and still want to know what Sebastian is eating." I know. Well, it's just a control freak thing, Brenda. Yeah, they use or lack of food to punish him, in my opinion. It's just something weird with food and snacks and eating and da 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 da. It's like, okay, well, he's a growing boy for one, so let him, have something, or, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't see the reason behind it, and it seems cruel, and it seems just about control again, um, and nitpicking on him, really, because that's all it is. It's like you don't have to again, you don't have to micromanage. Yeah, everybody's like, I see you guys in the comments. He's so well behaved. He's so, and that's what I see. So Bo. I was resisting the urge to say that on Jen's panel so hard. You guys have no idea. So I would just only say up to the, bad part. Oh Lord, because I didn't want her to get her in trouble. That shiz is funny though. I love that. She probably gets a free because she has Tourette's syndrome, stupid. I love when she tells people that too. I got Tourette's syndrome, stupid. That's great. She's showing him something on her phone. She did end up showing him something on her phone. Yes, she did. She absolutely did. Yeah. And this is the thing. This is where I was just tripping out too, Detroit, because I'm sitting here like, look at the shirt. The shirt is so different. Look at this. Look at Sebastian. Look at Katie. Look at this. Look at her hair. and I'm like not having it at this point, when this first came out. But you're right. She's showing something on the phone. Um, and she's also messing with her phone the whole entire time almost, right? Except for when the food comes, that's where she takes the opportunity to scold Sebastian. I mean, she does let him eat, which is nice because, there's nothing like someone making you sick to your stomach while you're trying to eat. It's a real jacked up situation to be in. So at least she let him eat and stuff, but then again, you're full and then you feel like getting sick because of anxiety. Brad says, "Don't those two idiots know that they will go to jail if they're hiding Sebastian from Seth?" Well, I don't know, Brad, because they came out and said something to the contrary. Which I take that with a grain of salt. I do. Because they can say whatever they want. They're stupid. I mean, they are idiots. You're right. you know? Um, yeah. To say something like that is very arrogant and they think that they're going to get away with it. And the good part about that is that whenever a criminal gets a little bit too comfortable and a little bit too arrogant, that's when they start making mistakes. So, well, typically. So let them think that they got away with it, but and they're not good liars. We were talking about that as well. But yeah, so Katie is definitely on her phone, fiddling around with it, taking photos. I'm still on the hair. Here she goes with the photo though. Here she goes. You guys can see it. Here's where she takes another picture of him. Just never mind me being on her hair and outfit and everything, because that's what I was on first, right? But she does it again. You can see her. See? And she's very sneaky about it. Okay, so let me just back it up a little bit more. Okay. So KK sees that one and she goes, "Oh, I'm going to take another one." Boop. She takes another one. Now she's doing something and it looks like she's sending it to someone because she's typing. What is she typing to Chris? He ate it with salad dressing. Looky what Sebastian ate. He ate all of his food. We don't need to beat him for it. I mean, seriously, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I mean, like, that's what it seems like. Like, again, it makes you wonder what the punishment would be because he says, "Oh, the punishment would fit the crime." So it makes you wonder what the punishment would be if Sebastian didn't eat what he was supposed to. And then Katie's over there taking freaking snapshots of him while she stuffs a friggin' roll in her mouth. She's sick. Hey, Shadow, good to see you. All right, so again, we just watch her scrolling away. And again, I mean, I don't know why I trusted the TBI to put out an accurate picture of Katie. But again, that's what I was really focused on in this. I was absolutely wondering what she was doing on her phone, but if you try to zoom in, it's very difficult to see it. Now, hindsight got a good snapshot of it. Excuse me. Hindsight got a good snapshot of it. But again, Sebastian's meant to not have a phone at all, and then Katie doesn't pay attention to him and is on her phone and then taking secret pictures of him. It's very bizarre. Like his phone just stayed at the house all day. Mm. There you go, Detroit. Sorry, let me back it up a little bit. There it is. She shows Sebastian something. So she has it like flat on the table. And she's looks has him look. So here's Sebastian. He comes into frame. I wonder if anybody just did ever look into Bledsoe. They seem like a place that would hide a child. That's why I was okay. No, seriously, they have a horrible track record. Horrible, you guys. This is where they wanted to send Sebastian. Now, again, here's Katie. Here's the full screen of the same thing. It's kind of on a loop-de-loop. Here she goes taking a picture again. And he notices and he looks up and he just kind of keeps eating. He's like, okay, my mom's taking a picture. So it definitely wasn't because Sebastian ate all of his food or was done eating, because he's still eating while she's taking the picture. So there's that for us. That'll be something to kind of remember when we theorize. And I will say it does appear, let me stop this really quick. I just noticed this too. Um let me pull this and then hopefully I can overlay this and it'll be like a little bit where we can still see both. I hope so. Oh, let's see. Um don't tell me oh, okay. I was like, don't tell me I got rid of it. All right. So you see how Sebastian's arm is kind of up in this picture in his elbow. I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be like, "Lady, I can't see it," because I know it's tough to see it. If you zoom in though, you can see where his elbow is kind of up in the air a little bit, right? And you can also see his elbow is sort of up in the air when he's eating. See that? I don't know that it's on that exact angle though, so maybe we just look out for that. But you could also see it on an arch or an angle. I should say angle is better. But once his t-shirt comes into view as well. But I think it was taken at the table, in my opinion, at some point when Sebastian was eating his food and his arm was positioned in that way, or possibly even when he was moving food up towards no, it would have been backward. Yeah, no, it would have been a little bit further back. So I'm guessing it was when she took the picture. Whoops. Okay, guys, and I think it's coming up again. I thought it was sooner than this, but I think she's going to snap another picture. It looks like you could see her pulling something up on her phone because you could see it scrolling, and then now she is going to. I wish we could see what she was showing him, but I think it might be really, really difficult to get that. But there she goes showing him again. So. And then, of course, I'm still on the outfit and the hair and the whole 9 yards. Just forgive me for this because this is a long time ago, but it's just, I was surprised that their footwear looked a lot alike. And then I also thought she was wearing all black because of the pants, but actually her top is kind of a navy blue, and then she's wearing like a purple top underneath. Um, her sweatshirt or hoodie. And then there's Sebastian coming out. So 1824, by about 1825, they're leaving the Texas Roadhouse. So they should be arriving home around 7. I would say before 7. I would say that it took them a little bit longer to get home than usual. So if Katie says they made it home by 7, and then 15 minutes later, he took the trash out, right? So that would be 7:15. But and I'm sorry guys, I might have some commentary or music or something like that over this part because like I said, it's an older video. Also Sebastian trying to get into the vehicle. This was another photo, a still from at night. So this is going to be at 6:24 and 17 seconds, right? And that's when the green hoodie person is coming through and there's a commotion. There's this commotion. We've been talking about it because it was noticed, but Sebastian remained very cool about the situation and just watched. And I find that to be interesting. All right, so he's waiting to be let in to the door. And the green hoodie is going to traipse by, you know, Katie. And I don't know. I think there could have been some sort of a handoff. I think there could have been something that was passed between the two of them. 18:24:19, Sebastian's finally getting into the vehicle and green hoodies making their way to the front door. This is where we can see them a little bit better, but not really. I mean, we can see the kind of swoop in the hair that makes us think it's Conan, but not really. Because again, I think they look more manly from these angles when they get into the Roadhouse. It's strange how they look more feminine and it's just an odd, it's very odd. I mean, it is what it is. Um, Oh yeah, Detroit says she says something to him and he shakes his head and looks down. Was that after? Um so yeah, she did say something um to him or showed him whatever and then it looked like he shook his head no. Whatever she was wanting him to do, he didn't want to do it. It just seems like he just didn't really want to do it. Thank you, Lori. Yeah, very alert. Yes. Yes. Yeah, he was very alert. It wasn't like and he was watching, but it wasn't like he reacted or said anything. He was absolutely letting Katie handle the situation, and I still can't make out if he knew the person or not. So I just don't I think he would know Francis because or Katie's mom. I think he would know Katie's mom because they've done FaceTime allegedly. And so that's what makes me think that. Um, and of course we know that he was left with her and he let his father know, he notified his dad because of her history. And she, the one thing too, I think that causes a lot of speculation with the green hoodie and Katie's mom is Katie's mom is a registered RSO, but she doesn't have like an ankle monitor or anything that would track her movements or there isn't any type of travel restrictions that I'm aware of, right? So, I mean, again, I would think that would be the first place that law enforcement would look. I know for a fact, Seth had checked it out as well. So, I mean, yeah, because I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, they're showing you who they're telling you is Green Hoodie, but they won't show you the face. And then why can we not see Green Hoodie's face? That's why none of us can figure out who it is, because we can't see her face. If we could see her face, it would be recognizable in a minute. Anybody that can get me a picture of Green Hoodie's face, the real Green Hoodie from this footage, I'll be able to tell you who it is. Lady Freedom guarantee. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, really, like, that's the reason why none of us know who it is. You know, I mean, yeah, we can think we got a match on the body. We can get a match here, match there. Um, you know, I mean, that's why we're all trying to figure out what the hoodie says. If you're not trying to figure out what the hoodie says, then you're not in the game. Okay? You're not trying to figure out what that hoodie says. What kind of logo is on the hoodie? You're not in the game. We'll just say that. Brenda says, no matter how many times I've seen this video, every time I just want to grab Sebastian and keep him safe. I know, Brenda. It is. It's so sad. Like, it is so sad. Just the way that Katie kind of treats him like an afterthought, even through the whole dinner and everything. This video is like the saddest stuff that we've seen, right? Because this is Sebastian's, like, last time we see him publicly, or anybody saw him publicly besides Katie. And so it's like, it's a very cryptic series of videos that they put out, you know? But it also tells a big part of the story. A big part. And if we pay attention, and I know it's so hard to watch, but if we pay attention to this story, I think we might be able to figure it out. And I think that's what the significance of the Texas Roadhouse footage is. You know, I'm still on the fence with how many people they involved, and if they would even involve other characters, knowing the people that they have in their family who they've used for dirt before. Like, they have no problem doing it. They think they're untouchable. You know? And then you have Simmons, I suppose, who did this with the TBI. But why would he do that? So it makes you wonder if they have a dog in the fight. Because otherwise, why would they jeopardize anything for these imbeciles? And Sebastian's missing. We need to find him. So it's so sad. And it's puzzling. Yeah, yeah. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. When she mama says, well, that's what they said, right? It was magic, trash out, thump, and then poof, right? He's Houdini. Yeah. Okay. Sebastian always wanted to be a ninja. What the hell? And I mean, they were cracking jokes like that on, you know, when they scaled back the search. They hadn't done the landfill search yet. Mm, mm. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's so much. It's so much to take in. I wish he would have gotten, or excuse me, I wish he would have gone to the restroom and called Seth and said, something is going on. Come get me right now. Yeah, and the thing is, though, I think, well, actually, Seth would have been not at work yet. I know it's a horrible thing to think about. Because this is the last time we see Sebastian get in the vehicle. And then what happens next? Um, you know, and we've always speculated, like I said, the fork in the road. I was just so surprised to know that so many people thought he didn't make it home, which I think is very notable. Um, she says something to him and he shakes his head no and looks down. Yeah, and that was afterwards. Sorry, I think I scrolled up instead of down words at some point. I think Green Hoodie's lower body does not match KP's mom. Way too thin to be her. Yeah. Yeah. It's like her body type is pear-shaped, you know. And then also she's quite busty as well. So when you know, have that, and you're usually able to tell, right? Because your knockers stick out. So you can't help that. I mean, any of us women that have bigger chests know that. Um, so that's why, no, I don't think it does. And it's just the whole body type, but you know, I am curious to know who it is. So it's all very twisted and convoluted. And I think it's by design, Lori. I think it's by design. I think that they made it that way to muddy the waters. And, at least we have people that are still trying to figure out what happened here, because something strange has happened. And like I said, here's this commotion. These guys finally get back to what they were talking about, which I don't even know why Yellow Jacket was there, what he was doing. He's just walking around like a very strange individual. And I'm sorry if you have nothing to do with this, sir, and you're out there. But here's the thing, it's weird. And was that Sebastian or someone else? And again, this is Sebastian's birthday. This was Sebastian's birthday when this came out, this footage. Um, so I made him this for his birthday. And that's sad. That's sad that he has not been found yet. Okay. So we have that, and then I want to show you this commotion video that I made. Now this one is gonna be a little bit more recent, at 7 months ago, so September of 25, September 16th, 2025, and this is when I believe more of this came out, unless I did a revisit on it. But either way, I just want to give you guys kind of a good time frame, because this is a throwback, and you can always watch these ones on the replay, or you can always watch these ones without commentary. So we're starting this out with a timestamp of 6:23 p.m. Right, front doors to camera. It is the one that's located, and I showed you guys in my Texas Roadhouse video that I did when I went there, that there's a camera in front of the door, which I wish we would get that camera view, because we would see Green Hoodie, we would see everybody's face nice and crystal clear and right in front of our faces, and more importantly, our eyeballs, right? So, but we don't have it. We're looking at the camera angle from the top corner of the building, right before you kind of go around the building to where the pickups are, right? So I'm always waiting. And I mean, it would make sense, right? Because here's the pickup window, here's the go door where people are coming out and you can see them going back and forth. There's designated parking for that, just to kind of throw it out there. But here we go. Yeah, I don't think it is KP's mom. Yeah, I don't think it's any of the people we've looked at so far. Like, if I mean, I just don't. Even Conan, even though I like to be silly, but no, I just don't see it being anybody, and until I can tell you for sure. But we would be able to see. I think if anybody could get a good clear shot of her facial features, then we might be able to get a match. Okay, so this is when, and I slowed this down, and you can tell by the timestamp how slow it's moving. But here's Katie, Sebastian, and Yellow Jacket, and they come out. And then Sebastian's going to go a particular direction, but she spins him around. And he wasn't paying attention until now. That kind of woke him up. He's like, whoa, Mom, okay, you're spinning me around. What's going on? Now there's a commotion with Green Hoodie and Katie. And again, Sebastian does not look away from the situation ever. And he doesn't appear to say anything either. He just goes to the car door and puts his hand on the handle, waiting for Katie to let him in. So here comes the commotion. Everybody's looking. They're kind of stopping what they're doing, or not really even paying attention to what they're doing, because they're looking in that direction. But why? Did Katie ever let anybody know what the commotion was about? Right? Did anybody ask Katie about that? Because I would think anybody would notice that, especially a detective. So have any of the detectives asked Katie what the commotion was when they went to go interview Green Hoodie? Or did they just simply want to clear Green Hoodie, hey Holly, because they didn't want Green Hoodie to be harassed or whatever? It just doesn't make sense. Hello, KJ Mac. Good to see you. Oh, hello. Good to see you. Yay. I'm glad you're here. So, and hello, Ann Brock, too. So, it's just all very curious, right? And then this all happens, and then here goes Green Hoodie. Just, yeah, Katie, right? Here's a closer view, also slowed down, and just looking at what the hoodie was up to, right? When she's coming through where Katie's trying to get into the car. Oh, I'm sorry. No, actually, this is backed up a little bit. Okay, so this is again when they're coming out and he's going to the go window. And, Yellow Jacket was in the Texas Roadhouse for a little bit, right? But still doesn't have any food. He's still meandering around, being very strange, right? he's he's got he's got a very expensive coat that he is wearing. Um his shoes are also of quality, which I find to be interesting in and of itself. So again, we're looking at Sebastian and Katie going to the car. Katie just goes full on towards Green Hoodie and something happens. You can even see the boy looking over. And when I'm saying the boy, I don't mean Sebastian, I mean the worker. Sorry. I should just say worker. But again, this is interesting to watch because something was passed between the two of them, in my opinion, for them to have had that interaction that long. And then Green Hoodie goes away. So did Katie scold Green Hoodie? Because we know Chris and Katie like to be badasses and scold people. They really do. They absolutely love it. So, what do you think about KK's last live with Texana's post saying she knows the Green Hoodie is? Do you call BS? Oh, no, I didn't even know. I didn't know anything about that, Scranton. I don't know. Those people are batshit crazy. I know that's right. Right? And then they got that other lady, Kung Fu Ange, all in a tizzy because she's going, I thought we exiled Lady Freedom. What's this? You guys are best friends with Grimy Crime? And I'm like, well, whatever. Don't fucking bring me into it. Do not bring me into it because I do not want to be a part of that mess. You guys can have that. I am good. So I know, I don't know. I always get sucked into this crap, I do. Um, I think somebody sent me a screenshot. Maybe Chuchi sent me a screenshot of Texana saying she knew who the Green Hoodie was. I think that's what the post said. But I just kind of take Tex as with a grain of salt. Because yes, she's a spicy lady, but she also is like one of the Proudfoot people, you know, wants to sue everybody and take them to court. Again, they love court. They love it. If they're not in court, they don't feel special or something. I don't know. It's a complex, I think. I myself hate court, except for if I love night court. I love night court. But oh my god, she is. Um yeah, the Wagoneer. Thank you, Brenda. Yeah, the Wagoneer. Thank you. Um I know Hindsight and Coop did a whole thing on this too. And Mom Marissa, if I can remember correctly. Cause yeah, and Justin too, probably. Now, I know that some people think that this guy, crap, I don't remember the guy's name, but that they knew this guy. But here's the thing, is this guy is like hanging out with this other guy, but he never gets anything. And this guy looks like he's like full on telling him, look, like a whole conversation. And then he walks away, right? And I'm somebody that talks with my hands too. So, like, if I'm talking with my hands, I'm telling you something, right? I mean, I'm not just talking, I'm talking with my hands. So, I mean, there's that. Again, here's Katie in the green hoodie, slow motion. Sebastian notices after he gets twirled around by Katie, and he never looks away. He just watches. He watches the whole interaction, the commotion, the whole shebang. Okay. Katie still advances, and the green hoodie, we can't see her or him, right? But they have to be backing up if Katie is, advancing at them. So she's trying to get to a point where she's not on camera, in my opinion. That could be one reason why Katie continues to advance on the green hoodie and not letting her out, because they are doing something. And again, this is slowed down, and you can tell. I mean, but this is just zoomed in and also slowed down. So don't account for this time as if the green hoodie and Katie's interaction was this long. Just so you know, it is a slowed down version of the video. No, the other guy was Richard Scranton. There's a local man that they were saying this guy was, maybe it was Tom or something. Crap. Like I said, my brain is mush. What did Mob say? The dark SUV, a Jeep? What kind? Well, I suppose they're thinking that that dark Jeep that rolled by is the green hoodie Jeep. So I'm guessing. So, but again, I want to show you guys green hoodie's emergence from the car. Hold on, sorry. Let's back it up a little bit more. So here she is with her hands out. Go away. Bye. But why can't we see this person? It's so weird. And then look at the way they're walking. And this is a weird thing. Their gait is like strange. It's like first they're walking like a man, then they're walking like an elderly female. It's so strange. Okay, here's the Conan picture now. And, more manly features, and then even a more pronounced jaw, right? Cheekbones. I don't know. It's just so bizarre. It is so bizarre. And then again, I don't know if this is going to be like, because it appears that there's a white shirt. There's some sort of shirt over that, right? Like a black shirt, and then the green hoodie. And again, we need to figure out what this hoodie says. We really do. We need to get a positive match on the hoodie. And it's been extremely hard to. Nobody's been able to do it. So it's been a long road. My PTSD, good to see you, says, I agree. I think GH is being used to try to distract, and that's why the Proudfoots aren't saying anything about Green Hoodie's actual fact of interaction or even the BS reasoning. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, look, something happened, because just say you and I were in the same situation. Say you weren't waiting by my car, but I mean, maybe say if you were, well, let's just keep it true to the situation. You're waiting by my car, and I come up, and I might say, if I didn't know you, I might say, can I help you? Or, come on through. I might be a little bit startled that you're at my car, especially if you're like looking in the windows, right? Like, say I walk up on you and you're looking in the windows, peeping in there. It would make me, weirded out, and I might say, excuse me, or something like that, right? But there wasn't anything like that right off the bat. It was more of something that happened after the interaction. She also didn't stop and let the lady come through. She didn't stop at all. As a matter of fact, she just keeps on advancing. And Katie, I'm talking about Katie, right? And this is after she swings Sebastian around. And then she's still advancing on the green hoodie. So something, in my opinion, happened, you know? So, I don't think so because it appears that the hoodies match up when she goes inside. I know, it's so weird. I was thinking maybe the other video though could be two people. Here I am trying to zoom in for you guys on this one. I think we've all done this. But yeah. And then of course here's a zoomed in version of that and it's just so blurry. Like you can't even see the person's ear. It's and everybody else we can see them. It also appears that, somebody darkened the hoodie color too. Because the hoodie seems to be more of like a forest green. Okay, so here's some of Katie's interactions with Sebastian at the table, right? And it looks like she's telling him something and he's just looking at her like defeated, in my opinion, you know? So I know it looks manly at some points and womanly at some points for me, Brenda. It's so strange. It's just, and then it's so blurry. Green hoodie is looking more creepy in every video. I'm telling you what. Oh my goodness. Yeah, a man walked over to KK's car and then this woman walked out into the Texas Roadhouse. I mean, I think they have it timed up. I know I've showed a bunch of the videos. I'll have to look at that, Scranton. The gate was weird because it changed. It did, didn't it? Like when they're walking up, it's like they were standing up tall, but then when they went and got close to the car, they like started hunching and, I mean, it's just kind of, I mean, it's not really a hunch, but that is so strange, right? Witchy says the gate is weird because it changed. It was an effort to disguise themselves from being recognized. I think so too. I think so too. Because I mean, maybe they didn't think they were caught on camera when they were walking through the parking lot. And I know I have a picture of that back here. Let me see. It is not an overlay, is it? It is an overlay. When they're walking up, oh, here it is, and it's with Katie's mom next to it. So there's a good comparison for those of you that wanted to see that too. So when they're walking up, I mean, that looks like somebody who's standing up straight and tall, right? So yeah, it's like, but then, gosh, when they get in the restaurant, they really look like more girly. And the hair looks puffier too. Did someone get in the car? Did the first person get in the car and give the hoodie to this other person? I mean, Scranton, I mean, is that what happened? That the green hoodie, the one person walked up, but then we would have saw the other person. Did they go and pick the other person up and they were waiting in Katie's car? I don't know. I didn't see the lights go on or anything. That's the only thing I can think of if there was two different people. And I'm not saying there wasn't two different people. Now I'm just like, now my brain's really mush, Scranton. That's why they call you the Scranton Strangler. Because she's entitled, me first mentality. Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Detroit says a shim. Yeah. Yeah, I know, which reminds me of the William Christopher Guy. That's what reminds me of William Christopher Guy, is because he's very girly. Even his smile is very girly. Hairline is different in my opinion. I mean, they do look different. They look completely different. We can't see the passenger rear of the car. That person could have come from the other side of the car. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. They're just rolling out of the car, switching off. Oh my gosh. But I mean, it's so hard because I mean, well, and here's the thing. It does look poofy. It does. It looks like Conan O'Brien's haircut until she gets inside the Roadhouse. All right, get your tinfoil hats on. All right, so here's some more comparisons. But hold on. You know what? I have a better one because I just did that video. Let me pull that other video in that we watched the other day. Because that'll put me at a full screen, and I think the way the belt looks makes her look bustier, and if the hair wasn't slicked back, it could be poofy. Yeah, her mom definitely has the poofy hair because it's really, really curly. And so she does. She does have that, and if you comb your hair out when you have really tight curls like that, it does get poofy, you know? So they both have a white shirt under the hoodie. They're both wearing the same thing. That's what I'm saying, is that did a man come up first and he could have just taken his shirt off and given it to her or something. Can I put Conan next to mom? Oh, gee. Don't tempt me. Oh my goodness, that's too funny. It could be. I'm saying I'm Detroit. You guys got me thinking now because I'm like, I mean, they look so different. Okay, let me pull it up. Sorry. I'm just like I'm kind of tripping out a little bit over that. I'm like, is that why we can't ID the green hoodie, for crying out loud? And the police are like, it was a woman. Well, yeah, because the woman was the one that went into the Texas Roadhouse and the man is the one that walked up. Oh my gosh. Help us. Help us with this one. All right. So is this going to be suspicions run high? Which one? Oh no, it was the green hoodie one. Okay, here we well duh. Of course it was. All right. So here's where we're going to see a bunch of them. All right, so here we go. All right, so this is where I took pictures of the brick right when we were there. I wasn't taking pictures of the brick. Otherwise I would have done a better job of it, but I just had to go back and look for one where I could tell, because that's kind of how I measured it. I did it in a more, or I should say, a less scientific way than some methods. But I was just trying to figure out how many bricks there were. Okay, this is where they were about, at this level, whatever. So here we go. And then you guys were helping me out with your height too. So again, we have Sebastian looking over. This is when Katie had already swung him over not to go down the path he was going down originally. This is the green hoodie from another angle, right? This is after the commotion. This is after her and Katie did what they did by the car, if anything. And this is where we can see the green hoodie again. Wearing white sneakers, white bottoms, soles, and dark color on the top too, which I found to be interesting as well. Again, it's more of like a flat um, I was gonna say affect, not ass. Okay, but anyway, I mean it could be hit or miss, right? Short haircut from behind, it might be perceived as a man, right? So this is another one that kind of looks more. Um, you need to overlay Conan over mom and green hoodie so we can really compare it. Come on, lady, break your Photoshop skills. Oh no. Oh my gosh, Scranton, that's hilarious. Oh no. I mean, I swear I would do more of that if we had a better picture of green hoodie, but we don't. So I'm like, this is frustrating as hell until I got sent the Conan picture. Then I was just rolling. It's quite clear that Conan was KJ. I love how you guys encourage me over here. Oh no, she says that it's quite clear that Conan was there. Case closed. With a little the disguise guy. That's hilarious. I know. I wish it was, man. I mean, I would give anything to know who this person is because this does drive a lot of us crazy, isn't it? And it has for a long time. It's like, I'm like, let's do some throwback videos because I do have a good one coming for you guys, just to because we're going back to the beginning. But it'll be a good one. But tonight I couldn't get it saved in time, so I go, let's do a throwback. When she says it's a white boy booty. Oh my goodness, it's too funny. That's hilarious. And I mean, I don't have a big booty either, so I can't. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm just looking at the person. This is what I feel bad for because I don't want to like, shame anybody. But like, and I'm not, but it's just the short hair, I think, too, that throws me off. And that first picture, which we're gonna look like it. Conan took Sebastian. Scranton. Like, hmm. Very interesting. We're like, he probably saved him. No, I'm just kidding. No, he's got Seth. Truck driver booty. Well, that would explain it because Chris's dad is a truck driver. So, again, case closed. No, I'm just kidding. I wish. Okay, so again, you can see the green hoodie and how tall, how many bricks up she goes, but she also crossed paths with Sebastian. So that's another good indication when you look at that, right? And this is a good picture, I think, to kind of get a closer up view, but just not her face, which we need to see, or his face, right? And then now there's all of this like collage of all the people we were looking at the time for green hoodie and the situation, and then there's Katie taking the picture of Sebastian when he's just being a kid, right? And so then we see, all right, so this one, like I said, it just looks so different, but even from here to here looks so different. But then again, that would have been, well, if somebody was lying in wait in the car and they switched off like some freaking spy movie shit. I don't know. Mm, I just don't know. But I mean, even this person's face looks chubbier, but is it because of the angle? Because look at that chin. Oh my God. I can't with this because Tex is going to kill me. She's going to say, I thought you said I wasn't the green honey. All right, so here we go. Here's another close up. But again, this person almost even looks like they have a beard. Or not a beard, but like a goat or like a little bit of chin hair. And then this one looks like the hair's not done, but here there was a whole Conan swoop, you know, that he was working with. What in the incarnation happened here? And again, this is the one I was looking at as well. This one right here that likes to hurt the kids, and he was just arrested again for the same crap. Not the same exact crap. I hope he didn't hurt animals this time, but he did the last time. Just people that don't have regard for children, animals, or anybody. So that's this dude right here. That kind of looks like the first picture of the green hoodie at 6:18 p.m. Also known as the Conan photo. All right. So now we got this. And this is, again, nothing like the first picture. So weird. So weird. They could have lost or gained weight. Yeah, or dyed their hair, right? Yeah, they could have changed their appearance. I do have a picture of Mr. Proudfoot. The first. Or not necessarily the first, which I do. I do. It's not a very good picture. Not that I'm saying he doesn't look nice in it or something like that. What I'm saying is that it's not the best quality. Like, it was like somebody was standing like super far away from him so they can get his whole big rig in the background. And so he's very small compared to, he's not a small man, but I'm saying compared to the big rig. So no, CP's dad doesn't look like him. No. Does he look like CP? Sort of. I think CP kind of takes more after his mom. Cruella de Vil. All right. So now, again, we're outside. They just walked out there. Yellow jacket man acting very suspicious, in my opinion. Has Sebastian's picture on his phone. Now they're going through again. There's some sort of commotion. They're all waiting, watching. And then the green hoodie moseys on in. And this is when they leave. Now, again, this is when green hoodie emerges. So we can see them coming through the two vehicles. And here they are again. 6:19 p.m. And then here they are at 6:23 p.m. And we know that Katie and Sebastian came out at 6:24, right at 6:24, right? And by the time it was 17 seconds in, they were by the car. So, again, everybody is waiting, lying in wait for too long, and the interaction was too long and also caused a commotion. Okay, and again, here's Sebastian. Here's Katie walking and advancing towards the green hoodie, and the green hoodie is right here, right? So when Katie keeps advancing, the green hoodie has to be pushed back out of the camera view. Hello, K9 Captain Jules. Good to see you. Right? So here's the thing. They're walking out of the Texas Roadhouse. They're on one path. And then Katie and Sebastian wasn't paying attention as much, right? Until Katie swoops him around that outside ashtray. And then he sees the green hoodie. And as soon as he sees the green hoodie, he doesn't stop staring at the green hoodie. He continues walking, but he doesn't take his eyes off of the green hoodie, possibly Katie, or the situation. Also, again, a commotion ensues. So, all right. And again, here's some other close-ups. Green hoodie has to pee really, really bad, right? So bad that they're walking through the parking lot, having, deciding I'm going to go into the, Texas Roadhouse on one of the busiest nights of the week. And I'm going to go to the bathroom, right? But they don't go straight in. They don't actually make it into the bathroom or into the restaurant, rounding the corner until 6:25. So just to put it into perspective, they were waiting for quite a while, right? at least until 6:24. So for someone that has to pee, that's a long amount of time to be lurking by Katie's car, right? I mean, yeah, 6 minutes. Okay. So again, this person does even appear to be thinner. It's interesting. And here you can almost like see the facial hair and the more squared off jaw. Here, this person looks a little bit chubbier in the face, puffier hair, just very strange. Again, you just can't make it out. It's so blurry. And these are from At Night that they posted on X. So very interesting to see it just kind of up close. And again, I don't know. I think it's because it's blurry and pixelated, but it does look like a different person emerged from the situation. And, if we think about it, 6 minutes is enough time to switch out with somebody. I mean, it just is. Or have somebody jump out of the trunk and you jump in. And that's the only thing I can think of, though. Um, I hope you feel better soon, Anne. Thank you so much. Says I hope and pray that Sebastian will be found soon. I do too. Maybe a horn beeping. It could have been a horn beeping. Yeah. It could have been, I mean, I'm just guessing it might have been a tongue lashing from Katie with the mood that she seemed to have been in. That's what I was thinking, but a horn beeping, yeah, maybe so. She did, but I don't know if she had to remove it after the BS court stuff and the Proudfoots did on her with no order. It was with the PO. Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. Um, it was she was driving near the children's hospital and CP was supposed to be working at. Okay, yeah, at St. Jude's. Well, that yeah, the music is so loud they it must have been louder than that to make them look. I agree. Yeah, because the music is very loud. You're absolutely right, Detroit. It is really loud outside the Texas Roadhouse. So, yeah. Aw, thank you, KJ Mac. Aw, that's sweet of you, Detroit. Yeah, squeaking about her demands. Or something went awry, something she wasn't supposed to be there, or he or whoever it is wasn't supposed to be out there waiting by Katie's car in front of all the cameras, and she was advancing them backwards at first. So here's the person leaving. And again, does appear to be the same once they're, in that camera angle. Again, here's the letter from Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and we did end up reading that again. And it just basically says that they interviewed the person in question, and this was put out December 13th, 2024, regarding their presence the night of February 25th, 2024, and we can confirm that after a thorough discussion with this individual, there's no evidence linking them to Sebastian's disappearance. So that's all. And they simply said they want to address recent speculation surrounding the individual seen wearing a green hoodie near the Texas Roadhouse. Well, they were inside the Texas Roadhouse and they met up with Katie. So right off the bat, they're minimizing the situation. It's just frustrating as hell. It really is. And then these are just messages from Dog the Bounty Hunter when they were talking to Katie and asking her if she's, afraid to talk without Chris, afraid to talk in front of Chris, that they can go ahead and contact her, without his knowledge. Aloha, JH. Good to see you. Does anyone have a pic of the son of the cop that lives in the back? I do, because someone had sent it over to me. Hey, Andrea, had sent it over to me. because they were thinking that it looked like the green hoodie. And so I was like, but his alibi apparently was checked out. Like, apparently there was some photos of him in a different area completely. Um, but yeah, so they were just saying that if you want to know, so consider this your formal. Okay, so this is what they sent back. Consider this your formal and only message from my wife, Katie, and myself. So they messaged Katie and they got Chris. Big surprise. Do not, for any reasons or circumstances, contact us in any way again. If you need to contact us, you need to reach out to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. Why would they do that? They're not your answering service, Chris. Oh Lord, he is very. I mean, he's just so rich. Or Tennessee Bureau of Investigations. Thank you for your time and attention to this matter, Chris and Katie Proudfoot. Right? Weird. So weird. All right. And then these are some pictures that were labeled by at night, right? Whenever they put this information out in the beginning, um, they did, or well, not in the beginning of Sebastian's disappearance, but when they put it out. So again, um, here you see the green hoodie, and Katie is going to be advancing, and the green hoodie will back up. And then there was a commotion. And then you're also going to see Sebastian watching the situation as Katie moves forward. You're also going to notice that the green hoodie and Katie do have some sort of words or interaction prior to them making contact physically. And then there's some more zoomed in. And then we see Katie with her hand on the vehicle and doing God knows what else. But I think she was making the green hoodie, welcome back, Dan, go backwards so that way she would have been off camera more. Um, yeah, narcissistic, cocky, assy, rude, entitled man. He's got all the good personality traits. Oh my gosh, right, Witchy? I know, I know. It's just like the list goes on and on. The all the best qualities. But then here we go. Now this is where the hoodie is coming out, right? Now Katie is allowed the green hoodie to pass, right? And there she's like, yeah, 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 whatever, right? And just putting her hands up. And again, this is a zoomed in version. All right. And then Nick the Hat saying that green hoodie and yellow raincoat aren't cleared, right? There's Mr. Craddock. There's no reason to believe there's foul play, right? And then here's green hoodie again. And again. And then, I think that's all that I put in there. I think it's just an outro now. So just very interesting. Oh, that's right. Okay. Okay. These are the new charges for William Christopher Guy, right? I don't know if he's involved, but he definitely looks like he can swoop it over like, this and cut that beard up and, make a fine candidate for the green hoodie. I don't know if it's a man. So, and this is the tents outside. I believe this is around day 5 or so that they were in the neighborhood working on gathering evidence from the Proudfoot residents. And again, Bobby Simmons was the one that was involved with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations. And then also Detective B. Carter, right, formerly a lieutenant. And he moved on up the food chain to be the lead detective on Sebastian Rogers' case. And poor Sebastian, I feel sorry for him that he has a rookie detective on his case and not a seasoned one who might be able to do a little bit of magic on a horrible situation where I believe they botched the investigation. And here's Chris getting in Seth's face like a dick. Oh, sorry, like a butthole. All right. So, the end. So just a lot to look at, right? A lot to take in. It's interesting. Um, it's very interesting to look back at what we know and knowing what we know now, looking back on everything. So I'm gonna tell my mom and you, right? Oh, Chris has told people that in his life plenty of times, in my opinion, you know? Yeah, he is. He is scared. He was really scared shitless that dog was gonna come in knocking. Oh yeah. I mean, I just remember him going to the laundry's residence and knocking on their door and how intense that was. And I was really hoping for that to happen in Sebastian's case. That would have been fantastic. Um, Chris would have had a FaceTime with Katie. I wonder if Katie would have came at Dog the Bounty Hunter like she did it with Heather Cohen. Interesting. Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. Um, oh, here, let me put myself there so you guys can see that background more. So yeah, it's just a lot. And like I said, I want to kind of take us back to the beginning, some of the things that were said in the beginning that haven't changed, some of the things that have, so we can kind of piece together something because the truths were coming out little by little with Chris and Katie, right? They were telling people somewhat or some semblance of the truth. I mean, when they were put into the computer, they based the one interview with Polly Ann Thompson at a 52% truthful. So if you're 52% truthful, we need to figure out the 48% that's not truthful, and we need to focus on the 52% that is. So, and I think that they did leak out a lot of information because of paranoia and because they didn't think it was going to get this big, and they didn't think everybody was going to be still looking for Sebastian or worried about his case. So, just something to think about. I'm gonna get off a little bit early tonight so I can get that other video out, and I have to go through and delete some stuff, and I have to make sure I don't delete the good stuff that I need and then have to re-download something. So I'm gonna work on that for you guys. And also get some topics pulled in to the war room. So I'll have that hopefully, by like 3 or 4 in the morning for all you guys that are still up or, any of our friends in other places. So let's get together on that. And let's see. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to share tonight. And a big thank you to everybody that went off and looked at Devlin's story. I know that Devlin's case doesn't get as much traction as Sebastian's case does. I understand. Um, I completely get it. Because Sebastian's case is where we started off with. Devlin's a little bit older. His story is a little bit more complicated. There's a lot more options, and um, but we have been able to get some new information that we can kind of look into. So we'll have to do that too coming up. But I just appreciate you guys following that case because I know it's just really hard to gain traction, and I know it's got to be the age thing. Um, Aw, thank you. Thank you, Witchy. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys so much. Aw, thank you very much. Um, yeah, Bo says I'll be up probably. I know. And see, that's why I always get the most stuff done at night because it's quiet and, but I would have had that other video out and been a little bit ahead of the game, but it was like, you cannot add this because you don't have enough storage. And I look and I'm like, oh, good Lord, I have no storage. So I'm going to have to get that taken care of. Um, See the pictures of her when she was her hands over the table. Is that when when he puts his head down? I'm gonna have to go back and look at that to try because I'm pretty sure he does. I'm pretty sure he puts his head down and is like, no, you know? And it's like it's weird because it's like Katie's not trying to like At certain points it looks like she's definitely speaking her mind, but then in that way, when she was showing him on the phone, it was like you couldn't tell what she was even trying to say. I mean, it's hard anyway because it's a profile view, but when she's using her hands and stuff, we can understand those gestures. But when she's not and she's just showing him the phone, it's hard. Um, so I'm feeling a bit snarky tonight, not sleeping well. I may not be up at or may not be up at 3-ish. I'll tell you, it's been crazy, you know. Um, yeah, Detroit. I'm not sure. I know. Okay, so I know that Jen's channel raised like $75 the last I heard. But I don't know if she did another live today. We were talking about something different. Well, about Sebastian's case, something a little bit different. Um, so, because Jen's like me, like we've both thought, well, and then even Seth. I mean, we've all spent a great deal of time wondering if Sebastian made it home from the Texas Roadhouse. We've all spent a significant amount of time on that because there's no indication that he made it home, really, except for the trash video or the video of the trash being taken out. But that was not something that Seth was able to confirm. So he he made he asked Jen to make another map for Sebastian. So the first map that Jen made was Sebastian going missing from Stafford Court, his home on Stafford Court. The second one that she created was Sebastian went missing from the Texas Roadhouse. That something happened on the way home because it's a very short amount of time, right? So she did both of those. And now people are like finally coming out and saying because they're I think becoming more brave, and I love that if that's the case. They're becoming more brave to come out and say, I don't know that Sebastian made it home because I don't have proof of it. And because his father said that he cannot tell that that's Sebastian. And so kudos to all of you guys who are brave and giving your opinions. Because it's something that we've always explored on this channel. I call it the fork in the road because I don't know what else to describe it as, but that's my fork in the road. So I think I'm going down the right path, and then all of a sudden, boom, here it is. Which way do I go? And if people are just now realizing that, good for them. You know, I think we need to keep an open mind about this, and I think we need to re-examine things. And if we only work off of one angle, then we're no better than Sumner County Sheriff's Office. We might as well just throw in the towel like them and sit in our office, ask for a raise. Ignore ignore Seth. Just kidding, Seth. But, I mean, come on. We're no better than them then. So, I mean, let's expand our minds. Jen puts a lot of work into those maps, guys, and she was willing to go ahead and put another map out there because again, there's evidence that supports that Sebastian didn't make it home. So, hey Thomas, good to see you. Hey love mama love. So, thank you so much. I still have it. I do have it. I want to make him a video. I just haven't had a chance to yet. Yeah, I want to make him a nice tribute. So, my PTSD says, hush your mouth, Lady Freedom. We're so much better. Well, and I'll tell you, we just have to, we have to look at it because if we don't, we're just as bad as they are. We're over here tisk tisk. How dare you only operate off of one assumption? And then, here we are. Thomas says Sebastian looked very stressed in this video. I've always thought that, not like the good day that Katie pointed out, nor does she mention him being overstimulated at all from the busy day, right? Or being disappointed at the fact that he couldn't go bowling. She actually lied about that whole situation. and said, well, we did games instead, once it finally came out. But then they didn't even do games instead, according to at night. I don't know. But I will say that I do agree with you with the stressed out part for sure. You could definitely tell, I think it's interesting that you bring that up too, because we kind of touched on it the other day, but, I was thinking about Timothy Pitson's case, and I did a comparison, Timothy Pitson and and Sebastian Rogers, um, Katie Proudfoot versus Amy Pitson. And Timothy's still never been found, by the way. Um, so before Timothy went missing, and the last person to be with Timothy was his mother, Timothy was taken out of school by his mother and given like the best couple days, right? Like they went to the indoor water parks. Um, they went to the zoo. They did all kinds of fun stuff, right? And unfortunately, at the end of doing some of those fun things, right? Amy was spotted going into a grocery store without Timothy, and he's never been seen or heard from since. Amy chucked a phone out the window. They did find that. But they've never found Timothy. And I always thought that that would be a pretty accurate comparison. I mean, Timothy was only, I think, 6 years old. Sebastian's older. But I always thought of this best day scenario until I saw the Texas Roadhouse video. Then I realized that I was incorrect, that they didn't have the best day ever. Yeah, she might have drug him around all day to keep them both on camera so she could say, see, 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 like she did to Seth, putting her phone in his face, right? See, look, he's fine. He's having a great day, right? So yeah, she drug him all over the place, right? But did they have the best day? Hell no, they didn't. They looked like they were having a horrible day. The first time we see Sebastian entering the Texas Roadhouse, he's got his ears plugged up and he looks like he's just trying to make it through the situation. Poor kid. And I'm not saying that, that was so horrible for him. He looked like he adjusted just fine. But, again, going to this loud, crowded, busy restaurant after you've been drug around all day long. She does never mention about him being overstimulated. Um, but again, yeah, I mean, I was completely off with that until I saw the Texas Roadhouse, because once you see it, you realize that there was definitely something going on. And it wasn't Sebastian, because he didn't do anything to deserve being scolded at the table the way he did, that the way that we're witnessing him being scolded at the table. Oh, and by the way, you can't have a role, you know? Which he says, Lady Freedom, to be honest, you were the second person to accept that concept from me without scorn. I know. I think people are getting braver now, I do, which is good. Like, by all means, like, put your theories out there, because I mean, we just don't know. It's the same thing with Devlin. We just don't know. And it's like, I don't want to continuously only go after certain people. Um, I get it. I get that's why I can't work with both sides of the family, because I'm diplomatic in a lot of ways. I try to remain unbiased, right? Because I think it's a better situation for the missing person. The more people that you can stay in contact with that are close to them, right? Or that know them better than we do. But it just not happening. And but I I'm saying it doesn't point in that direction. And if we were really listening, there was a lot of things that were coming out in the beginning that Seth was kind of hinting around to that, you know. So, um, but it is so sad. Love mama. But yeah, guys, if you want to do something for Tony, um let me check with Jen and see how much they've raised. Let's see what we're gonna do. I want to have a plan or tell you guys what it's for so that way, you guys know. But I also think it's a good idea for us to do something for Dana around her birthday time because Jen has been saying, Dana's got a birthday coming up in May, and that would be a nice time to also do something like that for her where she can, it's kind of after everything and the calm after the storm. I know there's a calm before the storm, but there's also a calm after. And, when everybody's gone and stuff, that might be when she wants to, you know, take some time out, curl up, watch a movie, eat her favorite food she can order in. So we might do something like that. But just let me know what you guys think. Um, because I'd like to know your thoughts on it. I didn't know if you saw it. Google found him right now. 63 trees have been planted for him. Oh my gosh, really? So that's another thing. They do the on the obituary, they do the plant a tree thing, and I think it was like $40. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. I haven't looked at it again. Okay, so 63 trees have been planted for him. Aw, he's so loved and popular. Lots of memorials written. Aw. See, yeah, I wanna do I did a tribute video for Jaden Spicer and I was able to do because they had a website like that and I was able to pull some of those really sweet comments and so I would like to do that. Um in Tony's case, I'll have to blur out names and stuff because of the crazies on here. So it's just gonna take me a little bit longer. Because I want it to be nice. I mean, these disgusting people on here really can dirty things up, but again, I just want to make sure, but I do want to do something like that because that is so sweet. Wow, that is awesome. Um, again, if you it's so hard to say it because I know people will be like, "Well, I didn't get to meet him, but I did, and I did get to talk to Tony and get to know him a little bit." And I'm here to tell you, he's a very professional guy and he does have a lot of friends and that just goes to show you, that just goes to show you. I don't think I would get 63 trees. Wow. That really does go to show. Eat that, haters. Uh, Lady Freedom, when can you look at the email and vote video if you can? I just sent it to you. Video that you just sent, Dan. Oh, for heavens to Murgatroyd. I don't know what I did with my phone. My other phone. Like when I say that I don't have any apps on the one, it's horrible. I don't have any apps on the one. Um, I will go look at it though after the live. I will. Love Mama says I don't believe that the green hoodie's head was the green hoodie was interviewed by the cops. Does anyone believe it? Common sense tells me there's no way. I mean, I'll say that the way that they presented it to Seth was so shady that I don't believe it. No, I don't. I do not. No. It was so shady. So shady. I could understand if we was fighting or something. I don't know why he walked out that door, right? Yeah, we don't even understand it because he wasn't even in trouble, right? And then Chris, oh, he wasn't even in trouble. Ho 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 ho, Goodness sakes. Thank you, Witchy. Thank you. And see, I gotta get it on my other phone. I bet you I use that one for an alarm clock too, so I bet you that's where it is. Tina told me about a meltdown she had in Walmart because she didn't have enough money to buy a karaoke machine like mine, and she's high functioning autistic friend and is 32. Yeah, that's the thing. And sometimes it might not even be exactly like just that, right? Could have been a whole bunch of different situations, but it's when you can't meet that expectation for someone who has autism, it's super overwhelming. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Thomas, because I mean, it's important to put that into perspective. I'll bet Sebastian was not happy at the bowling alley, and perhaps something in that footage, they said that they would release it and did not. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of why they wouldn't, you know? I know. Yeah, maybe I don't know. I was kinda thinking that maybe Ellie was like, "Could you not, put that out there?" I mean, they didn't want any of this out there. So, I mean, I know. It's just so much stuff. It's so much. It's so much, you know? Oh, okay, thank you, Detroit. Thank you. I know Jen was showing the wind chimes and stuff too. Okay, great. Yeah. Do you know if Seth is going to the service for Tony? I'm not sure. I would imagine he would, but I just don't know about if how his truck is doing or something like that. You know what I mean? Um, I mean that's why I'm always renting cars to go on long trips for because you don't want to put the mileage and the wear and tear. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm saying, Detroit. I'm sure he will if he can. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's gonna be very missed by a lot of people, Thomas. He really did a lot of good for people. Reference to Murgatroyd. I haven't heard that in years before my grandma passed. Aw, KJ. Sometimes I like to say those silly sayings, especially when I'm really mad and I don't wanna I know it's night court and everything, but I was like, "Oh, I can't believe it's not." I know where it is. It's got to be in like right next to my bed, where I usually keep it to wake up. Um, I know, walked out or dragged out, right? Oh, just very shady, Lori. Like if they showed me some stuff like that, I would have been having the same reaction Seth did. I would have been like, "Well, I mean, they said, but that's a really sticky situation to be in, right? I mean, if you're going to be in a pickle, that's one. That's a pickle. You're sitting there like, I don't want to bash law enforcement because they're not going to help me then. They're going to be mad at me if I tell the public that I don't believe what they're saying because they're BSing just like the trash truck. I remember Seth was very hesitant to believe it, and you could almost see that he was saying stuff that he really didn't truly believe, but he didn't know what to believe, and that's me looking as an outsider looking in. I'm not trying to say how Seth felt in the moment, but it just seemed to me because I remember him saying, yeah, that they said it's a trash truck. And that the video was stuck at 3 AM. So oh, good. I know, Detroit, I know. It's just, oh my gosh, all of this stuff, and I just feel so bad. Um, yeah, hey, Kylie Ray, good to see you. Yeah, I hope that they go and look at their hotspots. Hey, if they have a gift by all means, let's look. We need to look. We need people to search. We do, Kylie. So I hope they do. I hope they do. I wish all the best for anybody who's out there looking for Sebastian, who's going over footage, who does the live streams for Sebastian, anything for him. As long as they're not bashing Sebastian or, Seth, I'm good with it. Um, because Seth doesn't deserve it. Look, guys, he's had the same story from the beginning, you know? Yeah, I know, I know. Well, and these days just fly by. I think they will be too. I think they will be too. Yeah. I just hope that, it's a very lovely ceremony and more memorial for Tony and the family. They deserve that. So, ooh, and free shipping too. Oh, that's great. Yeah. Hey, Lara Walker. Lara Walker says, every time I hear that, I don't know why he walked out that door. I think, "What door?" Yeah, I I agree. Yeah, I didn't think he made it home 2 years ago. Well, thank you. I appreciate you coming out and letting me know that. I was so surprised when we did that poll. That was very interesting. I couldn't believe so many people were on the same page with he didn't make it home. I thought we would have far more people saying, yeah, he made it home. So I was like, "Ooh, that helps me out a little bit too, like knowing what the majority of people are thinking." But I think it's for good reason. And see, that's why I can't get past it. I've always just said that's the fork in the road, right? I mean, um, it really is. It really is. And that's the weird part about this case too, because that statement doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And then whenever people were asking what door, right? Because a couple of people did, and Chris got really upset with Trisha from Web Sleuths for asking that, because he's like, well, what door? And I think even Chloe was asking questions about it. And he's like, the front door. What I'm telling you, and he got very frustrated. And he's like, what I'm telling you is that Sebastian uh, would have gone out the front door. That's the door that he always uses, the front door. And then Katie said that he locks the door behind himself. And then I also find it very interesting that the neighbor was recalling their footage from across the street and saying that on Friday Sebastian came home around 3. He went and used the garage, or he went and used the code to the door. He got in. Then she said that Saturday, Katie and Sebastian left, right? Pulled out of the garage, left. And when they came back, Katie let Sebastian out, and then she pulled into the garage. And then Sebastian went up to the door, tried to use his code at the front door, and it wouldn't allow him to go get into the door. So he skipped back and went in through the garage. So did they change the code? And if they changed the code, why? And it would make sense because Katie was putting out a blanket and snacks for Sebastian. So I think that could be why she did that, because she changed the code to the door, you know? So, and I am under a pretty good advice that you have to uh, manually change the code from the outside keypad. And if that's the case, when did Katie do that? Because it had to have been after Sebastian got home from school on Friday because he was able to get in. But he wasn't able to do it. So she had maybe did it overnight, and maybe that's why the house, they blacked the house out because they knew what was going to happen the next day. There's some reason why the house was so dark. And see, again, it just brings me back to that fork in the road, because I see different things that could make sense that he did make it home. So it's a tough one. But I think we need people that are equally passionate about both to really figure out what happened, in my opinion. Because that way one person's looking at one angle and the other person's looking at the other angle. And that's teamwork. That's the dream work right there. So in my opinion, something happened between him and CP that weekend, and he gave KP an ultimatum, and poof. Well, and it does seem like there was ultimatums being flung, as Mr. Proudfoot likes to say, for a very long time. Lyra says, but Chris wasn't there either, so which part is the lie? Door or not there? I know. He knew too much of this rehearsed narrative, in my opinion. And I do think that's why he seems to know so much, because he doesn't ever present the information as if he was on the phone or away at the time. It's always we, and it's always as if he was there too, right? Which some of the time he was on the phone, and I can understand that part, because that was the thing that they were pushing a lot of too, like, oh, well, we just hang out on the phone. That's our time together, right? Which is a strong possibility, even a probability, right? I don't know their relationship. I don't live their life. I do know when, you're having issues, In your marriage, there might be times where you're on the phone a lot and when you're not on the phone, when you're on the phone very little, right? You're taking space because there's some sort of issues there, right? But I agree it's rehearsed, and I do not know whether Chris was there or not. I can't pinpoint that because, again, he says that he didn't see Sebastian until the 26th, which would support the 3 a.m., but it also could support the handoff, right? Or maybe by the time he was able to see Sebastian, it was the 26th, but he says when I came back home on the 26th, 26 would be 3 a.m. would be 26. So again, it's very difficult to decipher what's true and what's not. The only thing that's gonna really click together is when we have the truth. That's when it'll all click, in my opinion. Um, KJ Maxx says if it's an older keypad, it is reprogrammed at the pad. We have one of those for our kids to come home from school and enter on that on their own. Yeah, and that's what Sebastian was using it for. He was getting home at 3 and Katie didn't get home until I guess 5 or maybe 4:30 she left work and wouldn't be home till 5, something like that. Or maybe she worked 8 to 4. I'm not sure about, the exact time that she would get home. But of course, Sebastian would get off at like 3 or 3:30 and he'd let himself in and, do his chores and stuff like that, his homework and things. That's what he was supposed to do when he first got home. As far as I know, and that's kind of been confirmed through Stepfoot and Seth. Um, so yeah, Lori, I agree, it was performative, like her windows up parade around the neighborhood, right, when she was looking for him. Exactly. Half truths and the lies. Yeah, for sure. Half truths. Yeah, 100%. I mean, even look at their score. It was 52%, 48%, So really 50-50 if we're gonna round, to the nearest, it'll be a 50-50 on the truth scale. Um, so Dan says, Lady Freedom, Chris was there the 25th, and we now know that because of what he said, if Sebastian would have fallen in the bushes, we would have heard him. Well, he did tell Smiley that. He did. He said we would have all heard him. We would have woke up. Yeah, we would have heard him scream. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And, I think we need to look more into those statements because obviously there were some times when Chris was there, when Katie was going to visit Chris and things like that. Um, so did they have a good weekend and did they plan this out because there was too much going on? Did CPS ask Chris to leave? Is that why he left in early February? Because something happened at the end of January and early February that created that fifth CPS report. And they just told Chris, look, you can't keep doing that. We're not going to keep coming out here. You need to leave and go take the job over at St. Jude in Memphis. Sorry. Chris cracks me up with that. Memphis. If I was Nina, I wouldn't allow Faith to be with the stinks. Yeah, I know. I would have. Yeah, I wouldn't care what laws of the matter. I know. Oh, it's so horrible. She has no choice. Love mama, and that's the thing. The judge will look back. The judge would reprimand her, and she would be in big trouble if she didn't allow for Faith to go be with them. That's the hell of it. That is the absolute hell of it. So shame on that judge. I mean, seriously, damn him for that. In my opinion, shame on him. Because you don't put a child in a situation like that. Mm-mm. No, not when there's a missing kid. You don't chance it. You don't chance it. I don't care if they treat her like gold. And as far as I know, they do. Looking for a kid with the windows rolled up. Yeah, right. I'm with you, Thomas. Cheryl says he knew so much because he was there, not on the phone, in my honest opinion, because he never really mentions the thud that Katie heard while they were on the phone. Exactly, together. Exactly, Detroit. Exactly. He doesn't say like, "Oh yeah, Katie yelled, Bubba, did you fall?" This is the most ridiculous one of all of them that she says, "Bubba, did you fall out of the bed?" But he doesn't say that. He doesn't say, Katie and I were having a this is how it would be if it was true. He would say, Katie and I were having a conversation, and then all of a sudden she heard some kind of noise in Sebastian's room. I don't know what it was, but she asked but she asked him, Bubba, did you fall out of the bed? And then, I could hear Sebastian faintly say, no, ma'am. Right? That would be accurate. That would be a truthful, uh, representation or, portrayal of what actually happened if it was a truthful thing, like you said, that he was on the phone and he was with Katie on the phone and he could hear faintly or, what Katie was saying at the very least, and what she was saying to Sebastian, right? But I mean, look, and this is the thing too. Say I'm Katie and I'm talking to Chris, and I'm telling him that I hear, oh, I just heard a noise. Hold on. Sebastian, Bubba, did you fall out of the bed? You know, wait, okay. And then Katie gets back on the phone. As being Chris, wouldn't he say, how, is Sebastian all right? Did he fall out of the bed? What happened? Especially that control freak he is. You'd think he'd have to know what the hell just happened. What? A noise? Huh? What happened? Oh, I took all the cameras out. Now I don't know what the hell's going on in my own house. Freaking out because he lost control, in my opinion. Sheesh. CP was there that whole weekend. You think he was there the whole weekend, huh? Yeah, I mean, he very well could have been. I believe he stayed at his mom's, and I think he could have stayed at his mom's. I think he could have too. He had to pay it off once KP called, put the time waiting, like time it would be to travel. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, again, it makes you wonder because of the scratches, and it appears that he had bite marks on his arms. Very curious. Yeah, he should have heard. Yes, exactly. KJ says exactly, Detroit. He should have heard KP say, "Bubba, did you fall out of the bed?" The bed. That's hilarious. I love how you typed that out. The bed. Yeah, you would hear. That's what you would hear, right? And you would say, "Well, I heard Katie say XYZ, Baba, did you fall out of the bed?" That is the most ridiculous one she's come up with. Um, I mean, not like, Sebastian, are you okay in there? Or, hey, dude, I told you to, but I think that was another one. That was one of the other responses that she said. She said, like, I don't know what you're doing in there, but go to sleep. Like, that's any better, right? Oh, but that's the one she told Nancy, buddy. She said, Bubba, did you fall out of the bed? Oh my goodness, you guys crack me up. Yeah, yeah. Shame on him, Lori. I mean, it's time for accountability. It's just been too long. It's just been too long. I wouldn't allow him to have her, especially so far. Yeah, I would have had a restraining on him forever. I know. Well, and that's the thing. It's just, I don't understand why they didn't transition that into making at least them come to visit. I don't know. I guess they say they're for the best interest of the child. They're not. Most of the time, they're in the best interest of whatever lawyer is getting paid the most. Damn, Katie, what happened? I know, Thomas. It's freaking ridiculous. It is. It is. Love Mama Love says they weren't on no 3-hour call either, in my opinion, all BS. I wonder if they ever checked that out. I know they ended up grabbing their phones pretty early on, and you would think they would check to see, you know, how long they were actually on the phone for. Yeah, and Sebastian bites when he's stressed. Yeah, they even said that. Yeah. Well, and he was definitely biting his nails, and I know I do that when I'm stressed out too. Aw, thank you for being here, Anne. I know I said I was gonna hop off, but I know we got into more of a good we got into a good conversation, you know. So I think every parent in the world has said, it don't care what you're doing in there, get to sleep. That's true. No, that is true though. I mean, especially as they get older, that would make sense. That would make more sense, Witchy. I don't care what you do. But see, I don't know. At 15, I think it was more of like maybe don't get on your cell phone so late. You know what I mean? Something like that. But then Sebastian didn't even have his cell phone in the room. Like, what could he have possibly been doing in there that could have caused a thud anyway? You know? So that's what's weird too. When he has carpet, 3 hour tour. Right, Witchy? We need some evidence on this. In my opinion, the kid would be one Chris's brother or sister or Danny's. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, they do have also ties to like Costa Rica, which is another one that's kind of odd, you know. He would have said, "Get your ass up and see what happened." Right? Yeah, I would think so, right? Because he's, like, very controlling, and he's gotta know everything. If he's gotta know what flavor salad dressing was on Sebastian's food and what he was how much of it he ate, that's a control freak to the max. Mm. No, I can't even see mm-mm. No. Nope. I can't see them just letting that slide. Or especially if Sebastian was up an hour later than he was supposed to be, you would have thought that he would have been in trouble for still being awake. Maybe that's what happened. But I just don't think it was a spur of the moment type of situation. I could be wrong, but I just don't think so, especially knowing what we know about all the CPS stuff. That's why I think that there's more to that and holds more answers. KJ Max says the phone call was from the 9 range to just before midnight as first reported. How long from Memphis to Hendersonville? Second half, 2 hours. Makes one wonder since he would not uh, say if the phone moved. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, and what if, well, and again, they might have even been using burner phones to communicate. So maybe his phone did match up to being in Memphis the whole time. And they were talking on something else. So that, because all Katie would have had to do is hang up and that would have ended the call. Right? So that's something to consider too. So I know. I think that's so long to talk on the phone for that many hours when they've been together as long as they have. Because, I mean, new relationships, I could see that maybe, but he refused to answer that question on a panel if the phone was sitting still in the or moving around. Yeah, I do remember that, KJ. Yeah. At 15, I would check for sneaking out or who's sneaking in. Right, exactly. Would she? Exactly. Yeah, because that could cause a thud. Absolutely. Somebody coming in. I think that's what Katie wanted us to believe, except for they told us so that the windows were locked. So I know. Well, he was at Seth's house, Detroit. So I know. Love, mama, love. Yeah, I'd like to know how long Sebastian's doorknob was off the bedroom door. Shady crap. He couldn't lock the step jerk out. It's a step jerk. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. I know. No privacy. Well, then they put cameras in Faith's room allegedly. I'd have a come apart. I'd feel sorry for whoever did that to my daughter, like really, even if it was her dad, I'd be like, what the heck do you think you're doing? Like we can't have that. There again, it's just like living in a police state almost. Well, pretty much. I remember when Seth was saying the prisoners get more time on their electronics than Sebastian did, poor kid. Yeah, I would like to see a pattern of 3-hour calls. Yeah. Well, the thing is, Scranton, is they were saying that they would just like chill on the phone. Like since they're not around each other, that was their time. So Katie was even telling Smiley that there was times where, they would be eating dinner all together. Chris would be there eating his dinner, and then Katie and Sebastian would have him maybe on a speakerphone or a FaceTime. So, yeah, I know. I hope they did their due diligence. I hope they did, you know. Come apart. I like I like that. I might have to steal it. I don't know what I would be I mean, again, I really have to give credit to Nina and Seth on this because dealing with Chris and Katie is a nightmare. I can already see it. I mean, could you imagine? Oh, by the way, there's a camera in Faith's room. Like for what though? Well, first of all, she's a little girl and she needs to have some privacy. I mean, I'm guessing they have that bathroom. I was thinking there was a bathroom in between, I think, and maybe she goes in there to change, but I would be thinking that first, and I would just be thinking when she's sleeping, or I don't know. It's just, ugh. I've never, I don't know how true that is, or if, I mean, it was alleged that he was sleeping out there. Right, exactly. A person's phone is not surgically attached. It's enough to determine where the person is. Yeah. Yeah. I know. And especially like with those eye watches and stuff. That's another thing. In between him swiping left and right. I've still not been able to figure out if he was on that site or if that girl was telling the truth because she was, as she was telling Justin that she was coming in telling me that. I'm like, I don't know. I've never seen Stepfoot's dating profile. So only reason he pissed himself is when he was because of fear. I know the step jerk in his life. Exactly. I know. Well, look, he wasn't having any trouble going to the bathroom at the Texas Roadhouse when it was just him and Katie. So I don't think he was around Stepfoot for a little while, or so it seems. I don't know. Yeah, the camera in the room is next level creepy. I agree. I know. Unless Nina was like being hyper vigilant or something. I don't know. I still don't know how she felt about that, you know? So, well, and I was thinking too when he said that or Kylie Ray when she said he would come in and sneak snacks, but then I was like, okay, maybe just come into the kitchen and sneak snacks like from his room. But then I was like, what was he really out in the garage? Like coming in from where? It just makes you wonder with how cruel they are. It's like they enjoy being mean. So, he swiped a lot with 4 wives, he did. KJ, we do know that. You know? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, your poor friend, Thomas, I'm so sorry. Who would swipe right? Mullets. The baby curl and the mullet. Oh man, those are like red flags. Those are the red flags, right? If we say that they don't have anything that identifies them on their forehead, I beg to differ. Look for the baby curl. Oh my goodness, baby curl in the front, party in the back. The combination. Scranton, that's too funny. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. Well, I better get off of here and Detroit. Oh my goodness. All right, I better get off of here and get you guys that video out. I think you guys are going to find it to be really interesting. Just, going back to the beginning. I mean, on some of it, I wish I could do like a whole compilation, but it's a lot was said. A lot was said and done, it really was Cinderella, hey Cinderella. you know. I know. Well, and that's the thing. If they're having health issues, yeah. Or some kids just like really like to eat, sweets all the time. And I can understand, rationing sweets and pop and stuff, but bring healthy options. So I know. Poor Sebastian, right, Lori? Oh my goodness. So I know. No, they don't have any patience. They don't. They don't, you know? Oh, most definitely. Is there a block button? I don't want to swipe right or left. I don't want to encourage any of this. I want to block this one. Oh my goodness. Well, I love you guys and just look out for that video. I'll be dropping it. And then also putting some topics of discussion. And if there's anything that you guys want to talk about in there, just feel free to bring it up as well. Um, but again, I just really want to focus on the time before Sebastian went missing, that kind of 16-month period, right? From like the fall of 22 all the way up into his disappearance, because I think there's a lot in there. If we can get a good timeline of things that were going on, which I'm still working on that because I just know there's something I'm going to miss in there, but yeah, so. Well, and that's true, KJ. When his meds wore off, he was probably hungry in the night. Yeah, I can see that as well. Yeah, definitely. And some people just like to wake up and have a snack. I mean, I know my mom was like that. She would just get up in the middle of the night, have a snack, go back to sleep, or something like that. So, um, I don't know. But yeah, they're always weird with the food and saying he rummaged through the cabinets. That always just rubbed me the wrong way. I mean, it's his house. How is he rummaging through anything? But anyway, all right, guys. Well, you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys all really soon.